Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm going to be sharing with you all my favorite crochet tools, gadgets, I don't know what to call them, but things that I love to use when I'm crocheting, and I will never ever fail with these things. These things are my favorite. They're things I always am using anytime I'm making a crochet project. These are my top favorites. So let's get into it and I'll share with you all those things. A lot of these items I did purchase through Amazon, so I will have affiliated links down below, so be sure to check that out. Affiliated means that if you guys purchase any of those items from any of those links, I will make a small commission and it will help support me and help me grow on this channel. So don't feel like you have to, but it's a great way to, if you want to give something to me, that is a great way because that'll help me with growing. But a lot of these things you can also probably find at your local craft store. So if Amazon's not your thing, definitely go check out it at a craft store, Michael's, whatever things you have close by. Even your Walmart might even have some of these things. And without further ado, let's get to the first item. All right, this was probably one of the first things aside from yarn and crochet hooks that I purchased. So this is a hook holder. I believe Walmart even had like one where it came with hooks and things like that, and even Amazon has some that are like that. But I already had crochet hooks because I went to Walmart and bought some, so I was like, well, I don't need more. So like the front side had like normal hooks, and then like the back side had like the teeniest hooks. And I'm not a doily maker or into anything with teeny tiny hooks. It's just was never my thing. So I wanted to have just something that would hold all of my hooks in. So this one I have had now for 6 years and I absolutely love it. I love how it holds all my hooks, but it also has this elastic so I can pop them out if I need to look at them. I can put them back and I don't have to worry about them sliding all over the place. They're gonna stay, they have not gone all over, and they'll stay right where they are. I also love that it has these zippers, so most of the time I just tuck in some post-it notes. And then my needles, I have a whole other pack of my other needles, so I usually keep them in here. And I have an additional one for, sometimes I put my stitch counter and additional small things in there. And then in the back, I have are just my bigger hooks. I don't have very many because I don't typically work with big hooks, but every once in a while I do pull these guys out. But it does hold quite a bit on the back. We got 4 slots here, and if you really wanted to, I guess you could tuck some or in here as well, but I keep a pen in here. It just has a lot of ways for you to store and keep your things maintained, and I really liked that. And like I said, I have had this for 6 years and there has been no wear or tear on this thing at all, and I pull it out all the time. It's gone all over the place with me, and I love that it did not rip or anything. It's very durable. So I believe that I can link this one specifically if you want this one. I also believe there's all sorts of different options as different patterns and colors or things like that. If this one specifically is not available or anything with this company, I will find very similar designs as this one. So be sure to check that out. And then next up, if you're getting into making the stuffed animals or crochet foods like I was, safety eyes is a total must. And I have gone through so many of these. I think I've done different ones with different colors for the eyes, and these are just big ones. These specifically are 6mm to 14, but there are several bigger sizes that you can get if you're wanting bigger. I don't typically work with the bigger ones, but if you want to, I'm sure that that'll be linked down below. Also, I have are my noses. I love using noses, especially these little pink ones, because they're perfect for rabbits, or if you're wanting to do a cat, things like that. Just add that cute little pink nose. So these specifically are 10mm ones, and then I have these bigger ones. I have not gotten to use these yet, but I do feel like the possibilities are about the same as these. These are 12mm. So I accidentally at one point ordered much smaller ones and did not realize that they were the small ones, but they were teeny tiny. They were 7mm. So definitely pay attention to that if you're ordering stuff like this online, because the size really does matter in this situation. But I love being able to make all sorts of things. I can show you some pictures of different things that I've made with these noses. Like I said, I haven't used this one specifically, but I still love using those. I'm always running out. I gotta get more because I'm constantly using them for things. And this safety eye kit did come, which I didn't know it was going to. It did come with this, it's kind of plastic-ish, but it has an eye sizer on it, which is very helpful. Like, I guess you can get as big as 40 millimeter. So there you go. You can get pretty big with the eyes. So this was nice that it was included, but I've been crocheting for quite some time. They did not used to include any way to know how big your safety eyes and stuff were. So I ended up just purchasing an actual eye sizer tool. So this is one that I ordered on Amazon, and I absolutely love it because I didn't know it was going to come in a fun little plastic case like this. But I also love because it's not plastic, it's wood. So I know it's not gonna, I'm really worried about this thing because it's already kind of crinkled because I had it in a box. But it's already kind of bending, and I'm worried that if it gets put the wrong way by accident, that I might snap it. Like, I don't think this will last. So it was nice that they included it, but I want something that's durable because, let's be real, I'm not the most neatest person, and sometimes my crochet stuff ends up all over the place. And the last thing I need is for something to get ruined. So I love that, and I can get as big as 31 with this one. So there's a lot of options with that. And then this is great because it does spacing. So if you're really wanting to keep track of how far you're keeping your eyes and all that. But I really loved, I've been using it so much recently because I am following a bunch of patterns, and it's so hard to, when you don't know, especially right now, looking at all of this, I have no idea which ones are which. I mean, I know that's 14, I know these are 6, but I get a little confused when it comes to 9 and 10. Like, I don't even know. I think this one might be a 10 or it might be a 9. So that one's a 10, but that's so nice and quick and easy where I'm just like, okay, I need something. I can just grab one of these, grab one of these and just be like, okay, what size is that? It's quick. Instead of trying to figure out what size I'm using, especially because patterns will tell you what size eyes to use. So it is nice to be like, okay, they say I need this size eye. Okay, that's not it. There it is. You know, it takes me a lot less time instead of just guessing. So I really like having, I pull this thing out so much. But I also like that I can tuck it away and it can go with my stuff in my bag. I don't gotta worry about it getting ruined. I love how that came like this. I did not know it was gonna come in a container, so that was really nice. Now they do have on Amazon, when I was looking to buy this, they have other ones that look great and they're coming in different colors. But from what I understand on the reviews, people said that they're made out of silicone. So I don't know how great that is when you're trying to do sizing, when you have something that's kind of flimsy, whereas this is sturdy and it's not going anywhere when I'm trying to do my sizes. So I haven't bought that one specifically because of those reviews, because I wanted something that I wasn't gonna have to worry about. So I haven't had to worry about this, and I absolutely love working with this. So definitely, if you're needing a nice safety eye sizer and you're struggling with what I used to struggle with, we have no clue what size anything is, this is going to help you tremendously. I've only started recently using our stitch markers, these specifically. Usually when I'm using stitch markers for anything, especially if you guys have watched on my channel, I am using yarn scraps. Like, I have this ginormous, this isn't even my biggest container, but I have a lot of yarn scraps, so usually I'll just use one of these. So if you don't you don't necessarily have to buy these, but I find that these are most helpful, in my opinion, when you're working with chenille yarn or a very fluffy yarn, just because it goes right into the stitch. You got this point and you can lock it right in. It's a little trickier to tell that kind of stuff with acrylic, like, because I have acrylic scraps. It's a little harder with those things because it can get in the way, or it can just be kind of tricky, whereas I feel like this goes like right where I need it to be. So these are really nice. You can get a huge pack of these usually on Amazon. I'll have those linked down below. And I like how they come in lots of colors, so you can really have something that pops with your yarn and see it very well. And they're really easy to clip on. You just like slide it into your stitch and then clip it right on. So it's very easy. These probably will break easily though if you're not careful, because they are plastic, but like I said, usually get quite a few of these. So just don't be rough with them. They're just these little things. They don't need a whole lot of force, but I do find them very helpful, especially with thicker yarn. But I will say that this one is a bit on the investing side. It is not a cheap one. So this one is a yarn winder that I have come to absolutely love. But like I said, it is not a cheap thing. At least when I got this 6 years ago, it wasn't. So I can't imagine right on the top of my head how expensive this is. All right, I did a quick little look-see on Amazon to see the price. Because like I said, I haven't looked at it for like 6 years. So it's looking at about 80 bucks for this. So it is definitely on the much pricier end. But if you're wanting something that is pretty sturdy, like I said, nothing has worn. I've used this for the last 6 years. It has not failed me at all. And as you can tell, it probably looks almost brand new, minus the dust from my sitting on my shelf when I'm not using it. But I absolutely love this one because it is very sturdy. It has never failed me. It clamps right onto either a table. I usually use a chair because I have collapsible tables in my craft room, so it doesn't work very well. But I can show a clip of me winding some yarn with this. I remember seeing some other ones. Not that there's anything wrong with the ones you can get from the store. Any yarn winder will probably work for you. I've just have heard other people say that they kind of can be wobbly or they can squeak a lot. There's those types of things. But I wanted something that was absolutely sturdy. And I actually believe Bago de Crochet, if any of you are following her, she is the one that actually convinced me to buy one of these like 6 years ago in one of her videos. And so I was very, very set, and I have absolutely loved it, like I said. And the fun thing about it is you just make these fun little cakes. So I don't typically mess with my yarn until after I've used it in a skein for a while for a project. And so when it's kind of messy, so like for an example, you can get to a point where you have a skein that's kind of like this, where it's just kind of floppy. To me, it's just like OCD. I cannot. Like if I'm working with it, it's not a big deal. But when I'm done with it and I'm having like several skeins, like I won't show it on camera, but I've got like a whole bag of skeins that are kind of like this. So they're kind of, I call blech and yucky. And so what I'll do is I'll take probably all of those in the bag, say all those that I have in that bag, and I'll sit down and wind all of them and clean them up. Because then when I'm done, I have these nice cakes. And if I have a label, I'll just stuff it on the center. And that way I don't lose the yarn label. If it doesn't, like this one didn't have one, or I misplaced it. So I'm just gonna have to guess what color it is. But I like that these are so much easier to stack on my shelf, so I can lay them like on their side, or I can stack them on top of each other, and it makes things very easy. So like for this one I've been using, but I can stack it on top. So it just makes it so that I can organize my stuff a lot better instead of having just a yarn mess and tangled and all that kind of stuff. So it's been really nice to just wind up my own cakes that way, and makes my life a lot easier, because I am a pull from the center crocheter. I do not like having to deal with a big mess. Now sometimes I'll probably wind them up into a ball and then I have to do it that way, but I like pulling from the center. It's so much more satisfying to me and so much easier. But I think it's an investment. So if you're going to be planning on winding up your cakes often, you think you're going to be doing this all the time, and you think that this is something that you have enough yarn that you're going to be doing this all the time, like me, definitely get into it. If not, I'll have a couple other options linked down below that are a little on the cheaper side, just because I understand this can be something that's a little intimidating to just fork over almost $100 for something. But either way, yarn winder is really helpful, like I said, if you want to make your cakes like that, because I think it makes it really easy to work with. Next up I have are some of these crochet books. These were the first books I ever purchased when I was crocheting. So these are ones that I have found are my favorite that I can say kind of right now. I'm still working through all my other books. These I've done quite a few patterns from, so I safely can say that these are definitely worth using. This one we have are just Crochet Cute Critters. And you have all these different critters that she does in here, which I think are super fun. If you guys want me to, I could do a challenge with all of these books and make each of these items. If you guys want to see me do those and talk about each one, I can do that. Because I think I haven't done all of them, but I know I've done quite a few, like even in this one. This one has all sorts of crochet foods. Let's see if I can get to the front here for you guys so you can kind of see. So in front here, you've got all the different foods. So I think I've almost done all of these, but not quite. I've been trying to and haven't quite successfully done it. But if you guys want to see me do any of them all the way through, let me know. I'm all about doing challenges and working through all of it. I want to make everything. So this one has all of these. So this one has some similar ones, but they are different. So let me know what you guys think. But these are all great. And I'll have these all linked down below. I'm pretty sure you can even get these if you don't want to buy online. You can pretty much get these for sure at Michael's, because I have seen for sure this one and this one. I can't remember if that one's there, but you can definitely get those there as well. All right, and I saved the last one. Is probably the most basic and simplest one, but I have to mention it because it's a great tool. So I have our bobby pins, and I definitely got these from Dollar Tree. So I will not have these linked down below because you can get them at your Dollar Tree if you have a Dollar Tree, or Walmart for sure. But I say bobby pins because this is a great hack for if you have only so much yarn, because I talked about the cakes, but I only have so much yarn of this, and I can bobby pin my end easily, and then it won't go anywhere. I have so many scraps of yarn left from projects. So like here's my small bin that I have here. And so when you're throwing everything in here, it kind of keeps it, I haven't done this one, but if I didn't, this gets kind of all loose and all over the place. Some of these are a little on the messy side because I didn't do some of these. But now when I'm trying to grab a color, I can kind of just pick them all up. And this one I have the yarn label still attached to because this is one of my favorite colors of yarn. But I keep them kind of more, it's a lot less messy. Believe me, I used to just throw everything in a container, and then when you're throwing around and trying to grab things, they all come undone. So bobby pins is a nice, simple way to just kind of attach your end, and it's not going too many places. So I did that with a lot of my smaller amounts here. I even have another container that has even smaller skeins, like that are rolled up to like this much, because you can't waste yarn. You can use that for granny squares or all sorts of things. But as simple as it is, and as you know, you can get so many of them typically, it serves a great purpose with keeping your balls of yarn contained. You could do this with a big one too. If you're more into rolling up your balls into a really big ball, it works just the same. Keeps it from going everywhere. So that's a fun little hack that I have come to learn, and it has been wonderful keeping myself organized in this way. Thank you all for watching. I hope that you all enjoyed this video and that you were able to find maybe your next favorite crochet product or gadget that you'll be using for your future projects. Let me know what was your favorite. What was something that you learned or something that you never even thought of that is going to be changing your ways of crafting and crocheting? I'd love to hear about it. If you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the like button as well. And if you're subscribed to me, make sure that the little bell icon is on, because then you'll be notified every time I post a new video. If you know somebody that may love this video or find this beneficial, send it to them. There's a share button, so you just click on that and you can send it all sorts of ways by copying the link or putting it on social media. It's a great way to share and push this video out there. I'd love to make sure I'm reaching all the people out there that need to know these little tips and tricks and products that you could be using to crochet. And as always, happy crafting and keep creating beautiful things. Until next time, everybody, bye!